Hi, Tom with Woodgrain Distribution, and today we're going to talk to you about how to install Legendary Crown in 7 easy steps. You're probably wondering what makes Legendary Crown different from traditional crown molding. For creating a traditional crown molding buildup, 2 pieces of molding are placed against each other. But with Legendary Crown, you'll place your cleat on the wall, and then you'll use Legendary Crown's patented 90-degree angle to make your installation that much easier. To install Legendary Crown, you will need the same basic set of tools you would need to install any molding. The first step to installing molding is to measure your room and determine the corner angles. Draw a floor plan of your room with the measurements for each wall. Identify each corner and determine the angle. Make a note of the corner type and angle on your diagram. Add all of your wall lengths together to get the lineal feet of the molding you will need. Remember to always add 15% for cutting mistakes and waste. Now you can take your measurements to your local Home Depot to purchase your molding. Today we're going to be using a 937 stop that matches the traditional molding that's already installed in the room. And as a handy tip, remember to buy your molding a couple days in advance to let it acclimate to the conditions in the room. Legendary Crown works best with a cleat that has a top angle of 90 degrees. If you need help choosing a cleat from the many options available, you can check out our other YouTube video on how to choose a cleat, or you can go to legendarycrown.com. Step 2 is to locate the wall studs. To do this without marking on the walls, you can measure below where your crown buildup will be and put painter's tape on the wall to mark. Legendary Crown 49 is installed with the top of the cleat 2.5 inches from the ceiling. To make measuring easy, just cut a 2.5 inch spacer block to measure around the room. Use the spacer blocks to mark your measurements around the room every 2 to 3 feet. Measure the exact distance between walls before you make your molding cuts. To install the molding, you'll want to start on an inside corner. Our inside corner was 90 degrees, which allowed us to cut our cleat at 45-degree angles. For the other side of the cleat, you'll need to take your measurement and then cut another 45-degree angle on the opposite side. Another handy tip, to get the correct miter angle, you'll take your corner angle and divide by 2. Cut your cleat to length. It is best to cut the pieces slightly longer than your measurement to ensure a snug fit. You should have to spring them into place. Before we nail anything, we want to hold the corner pieces together and see how they match up. If they need fine tuning, just take them back to the saw to adjust. If they match up well, like these, you are ready to nail them in place. Nail your cleat to the wall stud starting about 2 feet away from the corners to leave adjustment space for later. You will want to fine tune each corner before proceeding to the next molding piece. Here is how your room will look with all of the cleat pieces installed. Now it's time to move on to installing the Legendary Crown. To install Legendary Crown, you'll use the same process you used to install your cleat. We'll start on an inside corner with a 90-degree angle, which will allow us to have 45-degree miter cuts. So, we'll cut our crown at opposing 45-degree miters. You'll need your measurements to make sure that you make the cut at the proper spot. Cut crown to length. It is best to cut the pieces slightly longer than measured to ensure a snug fit. You should have to spring them into place. Before we nail anything, we want to hold the corner pieces together and see how they match up. For Legendary Crown, the crown will sit on the cleat and hold it into place. If they need fine tuning, just take them back to the saw and adjust. If they match up well, like these, you are ready to install them in place. Now, you can nail the Legendary Crown to the cleat and ceiling. Nail every 12 to 16 inches. Be sure to leave about 2 feet from the corners. You will want to fine tune each corner before proceeding to the next molding piece. After the molding and all corners are the way you like them, you can go back around and nail down the corners. The final step for any crown molding installation is to caulk and paint. Caulking will smooth out any rough edges you may have in your corners or in between your walls. When deciding on a paint, there are plenty of options. We simply recommend a high-quality latex paint for your project. Don't be afraid to add color to make your project the focal point of the room. Thanks for watching our video today. If If you'd like to see us cover other topics in home improvement, such as how to install a door or how to install base molding, just leave us a comment below.